Hi, my name is Renyu-hu. I'm a PhD student at MIT Earth, Atmospheric and Planetary Sciences. And I work with Professor Sara-seager on exoplanets and also work with Professor Maria-zuber and kerri-cahoy on studying Mars. So my research focuses on planetary atmospheres. So the atmosphere is the gas envelope on the planetary body that we all live in. And on other planets, for example, Mars, and also extrasolar planets, the planets orbiting around another star, there are also atmospheres, and I would like to know more about them. So for Mars, I'm interested in using spacecraft data to constrain Mars climate. And in particular, I'm interested in the polar process. So the Mars atmosphere is mainly composed of CO2, and the Mars is so far from the Sun that the temperature on Mars is so cold enough for the CO2 to condense during the winter. So Mars has a much more severe winter than our own planet. So using the spacecraft orbiting around Mars, we can actually observe this dramatically violent and variable process. So the planetary atmosphere is a fascinating subject to study. So in our solar system, we have many planetary bodies that have atmospheres, and they're all very different. They're all very different from our atmospheres. We have a N2O2 atmosphere. We breathe O2 and release CO2 into the atmosphere. This is the environment that we live in. So for the solar system atmospheres, we have also spacecraft orbiting the bodies, in particular Mars. And there are a lot of data and there are a lot of observations from all different angles that probe the physical and chemistry process happening in Mars atmosphere. So I'm interested in using all this data to build a big picture of Mars atmosphere. For example, to understand how the CO2 in Mars atmosphere condense, how much, in what area, and what is the seasonal variation of this process. One of the most exciting discovery in astronomy in the last decade is the discovery of exoplanet atmospheres. So again, exoplanet is a planet orbiting around another star. So they are very far from us. It is very difficult. It is very technology challenging to observe those atmospheres. But we observe them, and actually there are a lot of observational campaign is being designed so that I would expect to have much more observations of these exoplanet atmospheres in the future. So it is very important to understand what the possibilities are. So I'm very much interested in using the models to explore these possibilities, to understand the questions like what they could be composed of, and what kind of molecules that could be in the atmosphere, and for example, what is a typical temperature at the surface of these planets, whether that's habitable or not. There are several orbiters, or several spacecraft now orbiting Mars. So one of them, it is still working. It's called Mars Reconnaissance orbiter. So there are a series of instruments on board this spacecraft. And one of them is called Mars Climate Sounder. It's designed for understanding the climate on Mars. And this particular instrument on board that spacecraft orbiting Mars, they take a picture or take a spectra of Mars atmosphere each 30 seconds. So it has been operating since 2006. So till now we have a huge amount of data, a huge amount of observations at different locations and different seasons regarding the temperature in the Mars atmosphere. And also, there is a lot of NASA-led Mars mission before, and I also look into this legacy, try to increase the temporal expand of my research, because Mars year is actually quite longer than the Earth year, because Mars is just further away from the Sun. So one Mars year, actually, it is nearly 2 Earth years. So with all these different missions that cover nearly 10 Earth year time span, we actually can observe the physical process happening in Mars atmosphere for like 5 Mars years.